In today's video, I want to reveal what Dave Filoni had to say about the Clone Wars Season 7 and how Ahsoka Tano almost had a romantic relationship. But first, we're going to get into every romantic or close to romantic relationship Ahsoka had during the Clone Wars, so let's get right into it. And I'm going to be sharing some quotes from showbizcheatSheet.com. The author Alani Vargas has written up a great article on the topic. And first up in the article, she says, when Ahsoka was really young, a comic book called The Clone Wars Crash Course, which is no longer canon, had Kid Karen as Ahsoka's first love interest. This was loose terms because they were very young, it lasted just one issue, and it was mostly just flirting with an almost kiss. It really wasn't until Season 3 when Ahsoka meets Lux Banturi that any type of canon flirtation happened. Lux was the son of a separatist senator, and so right off the bat, Ahsoka saw him as an adversary. It's not until she got to know him that she realized that just because he's on the opposite side of the war doesn't mean their wants and desires are all that different. And the introduction of Lux in Season 3 is definitely important to the development of the Ahsoka Tano character and really helped to humanize the separatist people that she'd been fighting against for so long. But the author Alani goes on to state in the article they did share a kiss later on as part of an act and not entirely to Ahsoka's liking. And Ahsoka did experience some jealousy later, but they were never anything more than good friends and later rebellion allies on Oberon. But moving beyond the Clone Wars, in the Ahsoka novel, she comes in contact with her first form of one-sided love. Caden Larte is a farmer on Rada. She develops feelings for Ahsoka without knowing who she really is. Ahsoka, for her part, is going through a lot of trauma. She's dealing with survivor's guilt and PTSD while also trying to stay under the Empire's radar. So needless to say, things didn't work out. But that all said, way back at Star Wars Celebration Europe in 2016, Pablo Hidalgo had this to say about Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. In early versions, there was a scoundrel character, like Han Solo, but by the name of Ninx Okami, who Ahsoka was going to meet in the underworld of Coruscant. Ashley Eckstein also joked that Ahsoka had a boyfriend for a hot minute and his name was Ninx Okami. So why then did Dave Filoni choose not to include Ninx in this relationship with Ahsoka Tano? Well, for one, Filoni has stated that he had a paternal eye over Ahsoka, but also was conscious of not doing a romance within the Clone Wars that rivaled or even came close to the intensity that Anakin and Padme had. But getting more to the point here and why Ninx was nixed from the Clone Wars Season 7, Filoni states, Ahsoka's story was never meant to be about romance in the broader love sense. Her romance, in quotation marks, involved developing her own identity. With Ahsoka, I was very careful to try to represent to especially young girls the idea that they don't have to make these decisions very black and white. They don't just have to be with someone just because. Just like her decision to leave the Jedi Order, she can do independent things because that's what she chooses to do. And certainly this is one of the things I love about Ahsoka Tano. She's independent, she's fierce, she's feisty, and she's just an absolutely great role model for young women. Very much like Leia was back in the original trilogy. But that said, seeing Ahsoka in a relationship with Ninx Okami, it could have been very interesting to see, and linked Ahsoka with those Jedi we're starting to read about in the High Republic, and how they seem to think it was okay to have relationships as long as you didn't become attached like Anakin did with Padme. I think if Ahsoka was in a relationship like that, it would have been a great contrast between her and Anakin, and I think it could have strengthened the idea that she was strong and independent, and if it was included in the Martez sisters story arc, it might have improved what I thought was at times a repetitive story. But hey, Star Wars fans, do you think Ahsoka Tano should have had a romantic relationship in the Clone Wars Season 7? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.